All right, let me get to my self ready. 1 second, sir.
Do it, sir. Do it. And I will start doing the tests. I know you're here somewhere. Where are you? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Too long. Why do I have to do this every single time? One, two, three. There it is. Huh. That's weird. Huh. Very odd. What the fuck? Really, if anyone's out there is actually watching this on Facebook, I need to beg you a favor. Um, I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now, but this is really weird. Facebook has decided to basically shite the bed or something, at least on my end. But I could be wrong. Maybe it is a setting I have on my computer. And Zillius left again.
What? I don't
Oh,
know what's going on. Like
and
my stuff.
there
So
he. Yep. Oh, now I got the reverb again. Sorry, folks. We gotta wait for Zillius to get back again. Hopefully soon, since we're very close to showtime. Da-dum bum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
yeah.
So
All right. If it crashes out again, I guess I'm gonna restart my computer because I don't know why it's being so dumb.
interesting.
It's Chrome that just keeps on like. It's not even like it's stuttering. It's just like I'm here. No, I'm not here.
Weird.
Yeah. Let's see if I pull up you. Do a little Google ping in the background.
Ping. Ping ping. Ping a ling ding ding.
Are you sure about that?
Nope. But I'm going with it.
You do what you got to do, sir.
So okay, here's something funny. So before every single show, I've got all of the channels that we're streaming
Yep.
on my other computer. I got Facebook, I've got Twitch, and I've got YouTube. Well,
Okay.
YouTube, Twitch, look beautiful. But then when I look at Facebook, it looks like crap. Then I go down to the settings, and it's autoing to 144p.
Oh, that's not an optimal amount of peas
Yeah.
in the pot that do the stuff with the thing. Yeah, you
I was like,
definitely need
wow, no one can see anything. Oh, there we go. Jack that up to 720, and I'm looking nice.
There you go.
The way I was meant to be seen and heard and done. Something.
You must let it out.
All right, kids. Let's see if we can do this. Are we ready? Zeely says yes, so I will take that as a yes. So let's rock and roll. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Dude, it's a beautiful day to be alive here on the show because there are things happening on Thursday night that only you could know if you're here.
Of course. I, of course, am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the prolific cover himself, Zelius.
It is truly a pleasure, sir. How goes your life on this wonderful day?
Well, going to be honest with you, I feel a shit ton better than I did last week. As many of you might recall, I was not feeling good, but I got it through. And I'm sure it was a great show. I just have no recollection of it. But this week, I'm feeling much better. So let's go with that.
You go with whatever you have to, sir, because I know you can do it.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a weekly live show where we try our best to cover topics that are most important to you during the show. If you haven't submitted a topic, a question, etc., have no fear. All you got to do is drop it in the chat, be it if you're using Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. It should, if everything goes according to plan, should pop up in that live chat box so that everyone could see your question or your thoughts. Speaking of which, if you have any thoughts about any of the topics we're about to cover, please, by all means, add it to the chat. It makes for a much better conversation. Now, if you have dropped a topic or a question in the chat and we somehow, unfortunately, miss out on answering it this show, we will do so in the very next show. So have no fear, your topic will be covered. All right, folks. Uh-oh. We seem to have lost Zelius. So this is going to be interesting. I will try my damnedest to talk while you get a really weird picture of Zelius frozen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's go with the sad news that most people already know. That is that there will be yet another day of, or another year of Momocon not being there for us, guys. And it hurts my soul. It really hurts deep down in my soul to see that Momocon is, that we missed out on Momocon 2020. Now we're missing out on Momocon 2021. But then again, it is for safety reasons. They made a statement, I think like a couple weeks ago, but we've unfortunately not covered it. So I'm going to say the statement now. This is coming from Momocon. We have not made this decision hastily, easily, or without thoroughly investigation of all available options for alternate 2021 dates. However, the uncertainty about the future of the entire events industry, also pushing events further into the calendar year, has made that option not one we are able to pursue for a standard event. So, if you had bought a badge for MomoCon 2020 and you rolled it over to 2021, you now have the option to roll it over to 2022. And of course, MomoCon 2022 will be happening May the 26th through the 29th. This, of course, is just the latest of conventions to either, have to pack it in for one more year or go digital. MomoCon will have, I think they have like a winter fest or something that you can attend, and I'm sure they'll have virtual events that you can partake in as well. But the actual physical MomoCon convention will, unfortunately, have to wait for one more year. And I think that's really, to be honest with you, I think it's really what all the conventions are going to end up having to do. That unless you've got some weird ass like hidden agenda plan, no one's going to let you host a convention of any size right now. But then again, I mean, I'm sure there's some states that are like, oh, we beat COVID already, so let's do it. But hopefully, there's not many out there. All right. So, how about this? Let's get, since we're having technical difficulties, let's just go ahead and do the friends of the show. And hopefully, we'll get Zeelies back momentarily. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's do our quick shout outs to the friends of the show. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to http:/indiecluster.com. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore, the company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to www.herochiropractic.com. Nerdburger Games is the game design imprint of award-winning RPG designer Craig Campbell. Craig has done a whole bunch of RPG design freelancing in the past. Several years ago, he dove into designing his own RPG. Now, Nerdburger Games has multiple RPGs and is showing no signs of stopping. Nerdburger Games endeavors to create games that explore corners of the RPG landscape that haven't been explored, or haven't been explored very often. These games forego dense gaming mechanics in favor of a lighter rule set that allow players to focus on telling fun, engaging, memorable stories. After yet another successful Kickstarter, their library has increased in size. Currently, the games that at least Zeelius and I have played are Capers, Die Laughing, Merzen Acquisitions, and of course, the soon-to-be-played Good Strong Hands. For more information, go to www.nerdburgergames.com. Battle & Brew is Atlanta's first and oldest gaming bar and restaurant. Opened in 2005, Battle & Brew had a very modest menu, a few beer taps, and focused heavily on gaming. Now, they have grown to encompass so much more. They pioneered geek trivia in Atlanta and remain the hardest trivia in town. They have upgraded the menu from only a few items to all your bar favorites, and some soon-to-be favorites. They've expanded the gaming and kept everything top of the line. They've taken a good place and made it a great place. A place where the staff listens to your desires and suggestions. A place where you and your friends feel like you're at home. A place where everyone knows your game. For more information about Battle & Brew, go to www.battleandbrew.com. And look who we found while we were doing our Friends of the Show reel.
As some people would say, look what the cat dragged in.
Ha ha ha. In this case, it probably was his cat. Anyways, while Zeelius was away, I just, I briefly mentioned the fact that MomoCon will have to wait for another year. It's not going to happen until May 26th through the 29th, 2022. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we got the announcement this week too that our annual World's Robotics competition was also canceled.
Bastards.
Unfortunately, as we continue to move into the later stages of 2021, we can still be saddened, but I don't think anyone is shocked or surprised when a large gatherings of people, such as a 60,000 robotics or 50,000 for MomoCon, probably Dragon Con when it's coming up in August. Some of those we know are, but it will not surprise me at all when other events continue to have the hammer laid down on them, especially because many people still do not see the need to get a vaccine. And there's also, if you're under the age of 16, there's still also no exactly FDA approved vaccine at the moment. So it's still the double whammy of still figuring out this crazy world we live in.
Indeed. Now, I do want to. Zelius brought up, Dragon Con and some other conventions. I do want to point out that in MomoCon's official statement, they're basically. I like how they put this. They said, due to the due to the uncertainty about the future of the entire events industry, also pushing events further into the calendar year, we made the option to that we will have one. We will not pursue one this year, which. Comic-Con's already going virtual. E3's already going virtual. My money is that if you got like humongous conventions like that going virtual, if you can, push it back another year, because if the giants are doing it, you're probably not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and I wonder if part of it too is like what is, because I'm sure there's insurance riders for these types of conventions, and what is kind of that part of it as it relates to COVID would kind of be curious to me, because I mean, God forbid people go to a convention and there's like a giant COVID outbreak. It's like, no bueno, obviously.
Well, of course. I mean, but the fact of the matter is, you got to go through the state, city, sometimes the county, all those rules. Plus, if that event space is privately owned, if they've got additional rules, so that's a lot of hoops to jump through.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
So unfortunately, MomoCon, if you've like I said, if you had a badge for 2020 and you rolled over to 21, now you can roll it over to 22. Okay.
So many rollovers. It's like a rollover wreck waiting to happen of conventions.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, the next topic is going to be handled by Zelius, but I'm just going to give you a quick little refresher here, just in case. As we know, we all love to play games at 60 frames per second, FPS, and we wanted to see it in all its beautiful glory. However,
all the pixels.
However, if you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn on anything but the PC, your frame rate is being capped at 30. Zelius, give me your feelings.
So my feelings are, as someone who's been playing Horizon Zero Dawn on the PS5, the game is freaking gorgeous, man. It's capped at 30 FPS, but it's still 4K gloriousness. And kind of, so I had posted a forum from Reddit on the Discord, and more so my gripe is I get wondering why is it capped at 30 FPS? We would all love to see 60. That I totally get, like wondering why. But then you have people who are like, nah, as long as the game is capped at 30 FPS, it's not even worth playing. Unless it's in 4K, 60 FPS, that's the only true way to play a video game. And I just want to go smack that person upside the head and be like, are you actually serious? Like, are you that much of a gaming elitist that your game has to be? And there's a good chance a lot of these people wouldn't even notice.
Exactly.
All it is just like, ooh, it must have the bigger numbers because it's always better. Well, sometimes what matters is freaking gameplay. That no amount of FPS is going to overcome, or 4K versus 2K versus whatever. You've seen it in games like, for instance, Hades is a great example. The artistic style is great, but it's not going to blow you away with needing the latest, $800 video card. But the gameplay is so phenomenal that works great with the art style that doesn't have the latest and greatest crazy graphics or the 144 hertz of blowing away your monitor. So like somebody who wouldn't play a game just because it doesn't render above like 30 FPS or true 4K and all that stuff, it's like, are you crazy? Like, it blows my mind, literally.
The thing is, I understand that everyone wants the latest and greatest, and so as soon as something can be done at 60 frames per second, then everything has to be done there. If something can be done at 40 or 4K resolution, everything's got to be 4. Like Zeely said, the vast majority of the world is not going to be able to tell the difference. Okay, I mean, look, if you're doing a side-by-side compare, sure, there's probably noticeable difference. But if you're playing the game, you're not going to be like, oh, God, it's so ugly because it's 30 frames per second. It's still a freaking gorgeous game. There's a lot of freaking gorgeous games that may have a slower frame rate on one system or another, but is it is is that solely the reason why you feel gypped? Not, the fact that the game is amazing, it's got shit tons of content to play with. You're stuck on, well, it's 2 pixels slower than the rest.
Yeah. And a game like Horizon Zero Dawn specifically was basically rebuilt from the ground up for the PC port. It just wasn't a straight translation, so they re-optimized it for the PC.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's a good chance that there's a reason it's capped at 30 FPS for the PS5 with how they rendered all the battles and all that stuff. And it's not just as simple as like, oh, dude, there's this one line of code, and all we have to do is uncomment that one line of code, and magically has murdered more than 30 FPS.
If only it was that
development
easy.
that simple.
God, that'd be great if it was that easy.
It's just like, it's a great game. And I get it. If you play the game, you don't like it, that's one thing. Like, okay, you give it a try, okay. But to just not even play it because it doesn't have the large digits you need for the FPS or the frame rate or whatever, I'm like, that, no. You're just, no.
Here's the thing. As long as it doesn't appear choppy, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
If it looks like crap because of the frame rate, then yeah, I'm going to have a problem. But if it looks solid and it's got a lot of content to it, I'm not going to be, crying over the fact that I don't have as much FPS.
Well, and that's the also kind of advantage of the PS5 is you're not going to lose, like you're not going to start losing frames, dropping down to like 10 FPS. It's got the horsepower to do your 4K at 30 without dropping the frames, which to give you pretty damn smooth gameplay. And also consider, like, when you have something like Reddit, that is very much the vocal minority of people who have 4K TVs that can run at 60 hertz. Not common. That is such a small market penetration right now, where that's also not going to be their priority. I mean, they want to do it where possible because that's the selling point of PS5. But at the same time, that market penetration is so small where there's other priorities right now than doing that, where it's going to be a high threshold of pain for the developer.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the fact stands that there are that minorities out there, and once they start stirring up trouble, they're very vocal about it, and so everyone's going to be, going, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
I mean, a lot of people are still playing on, good old-fashioned HD 1080p TV at 30 FPS and just happy as could be.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Exactly.
All right, so speaking of communities, there is a very popular streamer out there who, of course, famously got insta-banned from Twitch. No one still knows why, but Dr. Disrespect not only got banned from Twitch, but he got basically a lot of his sponsors removed. He wasn't allowed to join into the closed, like big name streamer beta of Call of Duty Warzone, and now it's coming out that he was not allowed to partake in the Toronto Ultra tournament for Call of Duty Warzone. He was not allowed to do it. A lot of people think because the main streaming service or sponsor was Twitch. But that being said, it appears that Dr. Disrespect has some good news for all you fans out there, and that is that he will be allowed to compete in Call of Duty Warzone tournaments going forward.
Why is that good news?
Because a lot of people love Dr. Disrespect is very well known in the Call of Duty fan base.
Are you excited?
I don't play Call of Duty, so I don't play Call of Duty. I don't play Battlefield. Thankfully, I don't live in the state of Illinois because both those games would probably be outlawed soon if that representative gets his way.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta stop the violence in the video games.
But look, I understand wanting to distance yourself from an individual who gets banned or perma banned from Twitch, but to not allow them to partake in a tournament is a little weird to me. And some people citing that the reason is because the tournament's being streamed through Twitch. That seems childish on someone's part. But of course, there's no definite answer of why he wasn't allowed to go through tournaments. But apparently, there's been a big enough stink that that it has been made very obviously clear that Dr. Disrespect will be allowed to compete in tournaments going forward. So hooray for Dr. Disrespect.
Will he also get his sponsorships back as such?
Well, I know that he's now a full-time YouTuber. I'm assuming he probably could. I don't know if he'll get them back, but I'm sure that there's some new sponsors that jumped on that bandwagon.
Because that was a big part of it, right? Was when all this broke originally, he lost a large number of his sponsors.
Yep. Because they want. Oh, thank you. Someone just jumped in the chat and said I'm handsome, or maybe she's talking about you. So Zelia says thank you.
I know I am, but I appreciate the confirming of my self-narcissism.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, I think the thing that drives me wild, I think what continues to cause so many people to scratch their head is we still don't know why he was banned permanently from Twitch. I don't know where that lawsuit is.
It's surprising that it never leaked. Because normally stuff like that gets out.
Yeah, exactly. That's the weirdest. I mean, how do you keep this big of a secret? I mean, because there's so many moving parts in this, and no one has broken their silence on it.
It's kind of impressive, actually.
I know. I'm very impressed. I'm like, holy shit, there are people who can keep a secret. And like a big one, too. All right. That being said, since we're talking about Twitch, let's talk about some other fun things that are happening with Twitch.
There's more Twitch news?
Yes. All right. So, as some people know, when a Twitch streamer gets to a certain level, they gain the ability to have like a subscription option where viewers can subscribe to their channel. And it's usually if you have Amazon Prime, you can use your one free Prime membership and just renew every single month for that one streamer. Or you can, I think it's like, there's different levels of, I think it's like a monthly subscription, which of course allows you to have subscriber-only streams and chats and all that stuff. Well, Twitch has decided to put in a new feature into that subscription thing, and it's the refund feature.
I can refund everything on Twitch now?
Twitch, basically, like I said, a lot of Twitch streamers, when you subscribe, there'll be like a notification that pops up on the stream, so that not only does the streamer see that you're enjoying the show, but everyone else is. And usually when that happens, the streamer gives a shout out and thanks them for supporting the channel.
I'd love a shout out to my peoples.
But here's the thing now. Twitch is now allowing viewers who have bought a subscription to cancel them if they need or want to. But they have to give a reason.
Okay.
But
how long did they have to do it?
Huh?
How long did they have to cancel?
I don't know. I would assume sometime during the month, since it's a monthly subscription. But this is the one that's got a lot of streamers pissed off. One of the refund options that you could select is, I just wanted to get a shout out. Are you shitting me? Okay.
Yep.
So this is and a lot of people are, okay. One, that is ridiculous. If you just want to shout out, just say hello in the chat. And if I see you, I'll shout out at you.
Hello.
If you subscribe to me, do not go right back and say, well, I just wanted him to say my name on the stream. I didn't really want to pay him the $2.99 a month. This, of course, has opened up a new can of worms, especially when it comes to our favorite activities that to discuss about, because Twitch knows how to take care of these guys so well. That, of course, is trolls and harassers. So basically, what an individual could do right now is you could get a bunch of people together to subscribe to the channel, and then all of you cancel. Or subscribe to get into the subscriber-only chat and troll the hell out of everyone, and then cancel.
So think about it, if you're a streamer,
Yep.
I mean, it's worse than that, because if I'm a streamer, and let's just say I bring in $1,000 a month from the stream, and all of a sudden, like, I spend that money on, let's just say, a new PC rig, because like, hey, dude, I got the money, I can buy my new gaming rig.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, you got that credit card debt, and then 500 people cancel at the end of the month.
Yep.
I mean,
just because I wanted to shout out.
Like, I'd be okay if it's like 24 hours, right? Like,
Yeah.
24 hours, a reasonable person should not be spending that money right away, at least. Like that, okay, I can understand. But if it's like a full month, then that's could really screw some people over potentially.
I would assume it's the billing cycle. So whenever the subscription gets charged, I would assume between I want to and when it actually gets charged, I think you could stop.
Well, supposedly Twitch is removing the shout out subscription refund option following community feedback is what I'm seeing now.
Good. They should.
Well, all they're doing is removing the just wanted to get a shout out as a reason. But of course, you can still really fail at any reason.
Yeah, of course. Well, let's be honest. They're not going to be like, okay, now in a novel format or in a thesis, please explain why you want a refund. You could choose anything and be like, I accidentally hit the button. You know, I mean, I'm sure that's probably an option. I didn't know that I was actually buying a subscription, even though I had to put in my credit card information. I thought it was just an identity check. But yeah, look, I am of the opinion that if you subscribe to something, if you lock in for a subscription, and I want to preface this by saying I think it has to be. I'm not going to say like, you know, if you accidentally subscribe to something for 1 month that is $99. I think for that you probably could get a refund. But if it's if it's within a certain threshold, man, just freaking, you know, take the loss. Don't beat up the streamer for your negligence or. I mean, that's just me though. And understand that Altered Confusion currently does not have the subscribe feature on Twitch. So I could say this because, you know.
Well, it's like Twitch seems to continue to just jab at the actual streamers with all of their actions.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is bizarre because if you don't have the streamers, you don't have Twitch. That's what's kind of crazy. Now,
speaking of which, this is a fun thing. Let me see if I can do this, but I got to do it quick because I got to. Okay, good. Here's something fun about Twitch. When you are a streamer, such as us, there is a lot of different, basically, metrics that you have to meet in order to become an affiliate, which allows you to have the subscription button. So, just I guess to punch kick Altered Confusion in the balls because these are all our stats. One of the paths is you have to reach 50 followers. We have 215. You have to stream for at least 8 hours a month. We're currently at 27.2 hours a month. You have to stream on at least 7 different days of that month. We're currently on the 10th day of this month.
I would say we meet that.
But here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Because of the sheer volume of stream time, we do not meet the minimum number of average users on the stream. We have streams where we have 4, 5, 6, 8 people on there. Right now we're sitting at 3. And there's times where, you know, I fly solo for the entire stream. And because of that, we are currently averaging 0.92 viewers over that 28-hour window. That's our average. So we can't make affiliate because I stream too much and we don't have a big enough audience during my stream time.
So I'm hearing is you should stream less so that you only do the optimal hours is basically what they're saying.
What I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to put a poll everywhere. And if enough people say, I'll be there, then I'll stream right then, right there for the amount of time that they'll stay. And as soon as they're gone, I'm off.
I mean, that's basically what they're telling you should do.
Yeah.
Which you think Twitch would basically want you streaming as. So the problem I have with that is like, so the ones about the number of viewers, the number of streams, like those, okay, you're creating content. Those are logical. But when you start having to average things, now you're asking people on the fence to start potentially gaming the system.
Yeah. So basically all you have to do, because see, to be eligible to apply, you must meet all 4 requirements within the same 30-day period. All calculations exclude premieres, reruns, subscriber streams, and watch parties. So I'm very curious if once you gain it, I wonder if you've got it and you can't lose it, or if there's like you still have to keep to the minimum. Because if all you got to do is hit that, and then you don't have to worry about minimums anymore, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find 4 people. And I'll be like, look, seriously, all you need to do is log into Twitch for, let's see here. I don't want to say, see, the problem is I don't know exactly how the average goes, because average of 3 viewers per 20 in the 27 concurrent viewership includes hosts and raids.
You get 5 different VPNs on your computer. And each of the VPNs is a different, like, you have like Chrome going to one VPN, you have Brave going to another one, you have
Opera,
you got
Safari.
Firefox, you got Netscape Navigator.
Woo!
You got the AOL web browser, man. Let's get them all. And you use some Tor clients, and boom, you game the system that way.
Exactly. And I also like to point out that this one of my biggest gripes with Twitch is that as a stream owner, I have the option to do like an auto host. And there's a lot of people out there who have us as an auto host feature.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work. Like 9 out of 10 times, it doesn't actually, it's not like, for example, I think it was Whack Kid 47, but I think he changed his name. But let's just say Whack Kid 47. We had it set up where when he goes live, he shows up. And he's got it where when we go live, we show up, as long, of course, as he's not streaming. It didn't work in either way. So anyways, enough of my griping. Actually, let's gripe about one more thing when it comes to Twitch. And that, my friends, is Twitch has introduced a new way yet another way to kick creators in the balls. And this is called the brand safety score. This score is it's going to be used much like the demonetization process on YouTube.
Oh, great.
So, and this is straight from Twitch. We are exploring ways to improve the experience on Twitch for viewers and creators, including efforts to better match the appropriate ads to the right communities. User privacy is critical on Twitch, and as we refine this process, we will not pursue plans that compromise that priority. Nothing has launched yet, no personal information was shared, and we will keep our community informed of any updates along the way. So let's just give you a little more background. They're going to add a new feature called Brand Safety Score. The new system could affect advertising opportunities for Twitch streamers, such as bounties. The new system will rate how brand-friendly each streamer is based on several factors. These factors are the streamer's age, the streamer's ban history, including the reasons for the suspensions, the streamer's relationship with Twitch, auto mod and auto mod levels, partnership status, the age rating of the game being played, if the stream is set to mature, and a manual rating by a Twitch staff member.
That's intense.
Yes. So I'm pretty sure, I don't know, like that potentially could whack a lot of streamers.
It sounds like a good. I mean, it's funny because they obviously haven't got their audio clip algorithm figured out because people are still getting the copyright notifications left and right, as demonstrated by the whole snafu at TwitchCon.
Yep.
And yet now they're trying to do this, where it's going to be some other magic formula, which probably is going to end up being more of a pain in the ass than it's going to actually. Like, so fundamental question is, what issue are they trying to fix with this? Like, what is the problem that they see as an issue with Twitch, and how is this solving that problem?
My question is, how many advertisers are going, well, unless you make it so that our stuff only appears on specific channels.
Yeah.
I think the easiest solution, potentially, would be that as an advertiser, you have to set, you can either say, show my stuff, or show my stuff only on this type of channel. But, like, trying to make a judgment call of, well, it's for a truck, and so we don't view it as people who play demolition derby. We don't think that that's a good match because you're destroying trucks, not trying to sell trucks. Like, it could be any reason. I hate systems that have, like, you can't argue. It's either you can get the ads, or your video can get money, or you can't. And they don't tell you, or you get demonetized, or you get a DMCA takedown, and no explanation as to why. And anyone can make a claim, and then you basically have to suck it because there's no way to appeal. So yeah.
So what has Twitch done that's good in the last 6 months? Yeah.
Are we still streaming? Or did we get cut? No, we are. We're still streaming. I'm just kidding.
But again, it still comes down to, what is the alternative to Twitch?
Because truly, it's still, the fact of the matter is, Twitch is the big dog, and you have some on Facebook. Though Facebook, okay, so here's my problem with Facebook. If you want to use a multi-stream tool like Streamlabs OBS, which is what we use, it doesn't really allow you to like an IRL option or a news option. You have to choose like a game option. And so this is so weird. So if you're watching us on Facebook, you will see that we are, we just lost the show here. My thing just bottomed out. Zealius, you still with me?
I'm still with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Oh, there we go.
I wasn't sure if it was me or you. I couldn't tell.
It's me. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying?
Twitch.
Oh, no. So Facebook.
Labs.
If you're watching this on Facebook, we're playing the game of news media because that's the only option we got.
Well, and plus the advantage of using, like, at least for me, for Twitch. So for instance, for our robotics, we use Twitch. So from that perspective, it's actually great because it doesn't require any counts. There's no like random crap. It's just, here you go. Here's your Twitch video. So for doing some of that stuff, it actually still works out pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah.
So but a case like that, we are not looking to, like, we're obviously not selling anything. It's not a livelihood. We're just kind of showing a match or like a video or like, a small time streamer. It's fine. But yeah, when your livelihood rests on that, that really starts changing. Any decision they make has a potential to basically change somebody's livelihood for the better or for the worse.
Agreed.
And
Now,
that's what's tricky about streaming is your livelihood is dependent on another platform.
yep, that's true.
I
Not
don't know if
everyone
that's
could be Ninja, guys. Not everyone could be Ninja.
well, yeah, not everyone is fortunate where if Twitch were to hypothetically ban him, well, I mean, he's been on other platforms.
Yeah,
Like
he's
not everybody can do that, yes. Which I think was your point.
yeah. Okay, so we've been talking about community, and I want to talk about an awesome community project that has cropped up, and I find it extremely interesting. And I'm also scratching my head slightly, and that is there is a game that has been out for nearly 8 years. It goes by the name of Dota 2, or for those who are really elite, it's Defense of the Ancients 2. It is by Valve, and there was recently an Indigo campaign to rework the uh, the the tutorial for Dota 2 so that individuals can get a better grasp on the basics of the game, such as how to move, how to attack, essential MOBA strategies for muting toxic players, and how to communicate with teammates.
Cool.
Fun fact, apparently, the most up to date tutorial has an objective to find a specific shield,
Yep.
but there's a problem. That shield was removed 3 weeks after that tutorial was made. So you can't actually get that item. So broken. But I do
Are you
find it.
saying the tutorial's not useful? I think that's what you're getting at.
Huh?
I think you're getting at the tutorial not being very useful.
Yes. So okay. So here's the thing. There's a couple of caveats here, and the first thing is it is not an official tutorial.
Okay.
It is being made by modders. They have raised over $2,500. Sorry, $25,000. So okay. I don't know. See, here's the thing: my question is Valve cool with this? Because how interactive is this? Is the tutorial going to be? Is it a mod that's added to the game that allows for a specific piece? There's just so many questions I have.
That's a great question. I don't know what the answer is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That's fantastic. That's phenomenal. You've got community members who care enough about a game that they raised a bunch of money to get a group of very skilled modders to redo a tutorial so that more people can get into it, and also maybe better teach, proper etiquette when it comes to MOBAs.
Which is funny because you think for Valve, like allowing more players to access your game would give you a bigger player base because Dota 2 is also
huge.
It's one of the more complex Dota games out there.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold your hand, and there's a certain level of complexity to it.
Mm-hmm.
So from that perspective, you think you would want more of a tutorial because it is complex as far as MOBAs go. So that's what's kind of interesting is how terrible the tutorial is when it's as complex as it is.
So here's the thing. It's kind of twofold. One, I understand that when you're a developer, you want to put the most time into the actual product, the matches, the balancing and all that stuff, and the tutorial is an afterthought, unfortunately. I do also understand that when you're constantly having to update the game, the tutorial is not anywhere near the top of things that you want to keep updating. That being said, I think, to be honest with you, the vast majority of tutorials for online games, be it first-person shooters or Battle Royale or MOBAs, most of them are trash. And it's because they're like, oh, yeah, we should probably teach you something. So they teach you just something, and then you basically get thrown into the deep end and hope you could swim. I personally, this is my belief, if you have, okay, here's my gripe with about every single Battle Royale game out there, almost all of them. the vast majority of them that have a tutorial, where you have a laundry list of characters that you could choose. Each one has different abilities. If you give me a tutorial where I can only learn the basics of the game with one of those 6 or 7 different characters, that is crap. You should allow me, because I may not be, the heavy grunt in your face type of person. I might be more of, like the stealthy or long range or flanking type of character. But the only way that I can learn how to play that is by getting my ass handed to me match after match after match so I can iron out the kinks? I think not.
No, I mean, that's part of really the purpose of using the tutorial in that case is just to get the basic mechanics of like, you have 3 skills, here's how to move around, here's what an enemy looks like. I mean, that's really what the tutorial is. From there.
But when you have different skills, I want to know what these skills do.
My suggestion then is go to a practice match against enemies, not humans.
But some games don't allow that. Some games it's either play the tutorial with this one character or you got to play a live match. They don't give you the CPU option.
Well, sink or swim.
And that's why I don't play a lot of the games. I don't play Fortnite. I don't play Apex Legends. And the game I was really getting at was Apex Legends. I got so pissed. I was like, this looks so freaking awesome.
You haven't got it for the Switch yet?
No, God, no. What the hell? No.
It just came out. It'd be a perfect time to play. You can play with all the noobs.
Yeah. No, thank you. I'm spending my time in Legends of Runeterra.
How's that going?
Not bad. I think I've finally the latest release kind of threw me for a loop, and I'm kind of finally getting my footing. I will make. Well, I'm pretty sure that viewer is gone. I will make I will make an admission. I accidentally fell down the dark hole that I've been trying to avoid for a long time when it comes to Legends of Runeterra. Zelius, any guesses?
I couldn't begin to tell you.
Zelius, do you see?
You started buy stuff, microtransactions.
No, well, I've done microtransactions before. Zelius, do you see what's in my hand?
I actually don't. Oh, you got it on your phone finally.
Yes.
So now you can play it in the bathroom.
Yes, and I'd like to thank Dr. Ryan Moore for that.
How is it when you're sitting in the bathroom on your cell phone playing Legends of Runeterra versus on the actual desktop?
Okay,
in a glorious 720 screen?
It's not. I'm going to be totally honest with you. It's not really that bad. It's a little bit. I wish the screen was a little bit bigger. But I don't have any real complaints about like the game flow or the look of the game. It's pretty simple. Basically, when you start every single round, your cards are kind of off to the side, and when you tap them, they kind of go like center stage, so you could see them and you can hit them to get more information, or you could drag them into the playfield. So it works perfectly.
But does it help though already understanding what your deck is? So like, for what I mean by that, if you're somebody who's never played before, it could be overwhelming. You really have to kind of look over and over at each card versus somebody like you who's played. You know immediately what those cards are. Does that kind of help having that familiarity with the cards?
I think it doesn't hurt, but the fact of the matter is I've been playing these modes where I don't know what the cards are.
Okay.
Look, because it's I've been doing a lot of drafting expedition gameplay where every single victory you're drafting new cards or switching out cards. And so I might not know what those cards are, but it's done well enough where I can get the gist of it, and it's not too, none of the cards are too wordy where you're like, I don't understand what this means. It's just not Pokemon, the digital game, okay? That shit is retarded. Sorry, Pokemon.
On PS5, I started playing Neverwinter, an older MMO, and I was playing in the console, right?
Yep.
And I'm like, I wonder how it plays on the PC, right? So I played for a couple of hours, played up to about like 10 or 15, I guess, for levels. Like, or it's kind of, usually MMOs, I'm playing the PC. So I load up at the PC. Yeah, it turns out I already had on the PC like a level 50 character from like 2013. I was like, oh.
I love those moments where you're like, oh, this looks like a really good game. So you install it and you log in, and all of a sudden it's like there's like almost a maxed out character just waiting for you.
I mean, the funny thing is, like most MMOs I've played, like Rift, um, Final Fantasy.
Hmm.
I played what's that? I played what's the really Black Desert Online.
Yep.
Usually, I remember the games I played. Arcade, which I played for like a minute because
Hmm.
it just was the most generic MMO I've ever played.
Yep.
Usually, I remember I played them in my life. This one, I'm like, don't have a recollection.
Oh God, if I were actually trying to think about all of the MMOs I've played, I don't know. If I were to log into the Guild Wars 2,
Oh
I
man,
wouldn't even know what the hell I had, or Guild Wars 1, or
Guild Wars 2. Oh, that was fun. You know, Guild Wars 2 would actually be a decent console MMO because it's
yeah,
that action-oriented style.
yeah, that's true. But I mean, I don't even want to know what happened if I logged into Lotro, which of course is Lord of the Rings Online for those kids
It
out there who
still
don't
exists,
know.
man.
I
It
know it
still
exists,
exists.
but
Getting updates.
I don't know what awaits me if I were to log in.
Well, that's my problem. A couple of months ago, I actually logged in. I got a month of Final Fantasy 14, and I logged in with my character. I was like, I'm so lost. I have
Yep.
no idea what's going on with my life anymore. This is so many things. It's overwhelming. It's like information overload. Like at that point, I would almost have to start a new character
Hmm.
at level one, play up to a similar level what my character, my white mage is, to understand like where things are at the game now.
But then would you switch over to that white mage, or you just keep going with the character that you've groomed?
I mean, at that point, honestly, I'd probably just continue going with that character.
Exactly. That's what happens to me. I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what the hell. I don't remember the keys, or or the hotkeys, or the skills or whatever. So I'll just start from scratch, and then by the time I'm like, all right, I've got it now. I'm not going to jump over to what could potentially be uber awesome super dude, because I don't
Yep.
know. Because
Okay, so I have a really random question for you.
yes, sir.
All right, so Final Fantasy VII,
Uh huh.
like part two is coming out, right?
Yep.
Well, I've not played Final Fantasy VII, like the remake version, but apparently it's not 100% true to the original Final Fantasy VII remake. There's like
Correct.
little tweaks.
Correct.
So, my question to you is in part two, is there a chance that a certain character doesn't actually die?
No.
Okay, you think it's
That's
100%?
a pivotal point. It's like let's Whovian it, okay?
Okay.
There are points
Ah,
in the timeline that can be changed, but there are also points in that timeline that cannot be changed, no matter what.
so I actually saw a really interesting theory behind that, right?
Okay.
Which I thought was actually really cool. I'm like, I mean, I never played Final Fantasy VII, but we all know what happens, right? So,
Don't say anything. It hurts my
okay.
feelings.
So Ares obviously dies, and it's, people didn't know original, and so here's a theory, which I was like, that would actually be fascinating.
Mhm.
So when you play through the gameplay, nobody dies. Well, like dies like they do in the original, right?
Okay.
But it turns out that basically there's a remake of the timeline. So you get to a certain point in the game where now you have to make a decision where basically if you don't clear off, like the more you let these characters like live on who should have died, like the worse things will actually be. Like force you to make that choice. Like
Dude, that's
basically
messed
that's
up.
how I started doing it. Like you have to make that choice now yourself.
Dude, that's
Of
messed up.
I
Nope.
know. I was just like,
Nope.
that's a fascinating because you
No.
basically, to your point of like the Whovian, you have to fix the timeline.
Yeah.
I was
Oh
like,
God,
man, I don't know how
that
you do that, but that'd be actually really cool.
dude, that would okay. This would be like, oh my God, to play a game, to go through the entire game, and then on your second, your game plus mode, you have the option to keep characters who
Ooh,
died in the storyline, but you're allowed to keep them, but bad shit will happen. And so it's how long can you last before you kill the character off yourself? I couldn't do that. There's
that's
no
a
way in hell I'd be
that's
able
an
to do that.
interesting idea. Well, they're like, I mean, Mass Effect sort of did that, where there's certain missions where if you brought certain characters and they died, they were gone, like they were dead.
Yep,
Um,
that's true.
yeah, so it's but something like that would be so dynamic I mean, think about the complexity from like a game development perspective of implementing something like that.
Well, I mean,
Because
it kind of
you have so many permutations potentially.
well, it's kind of like Heavy Rain, but but you're trying to keep everyone alive in Heavy Rain. However, when a character dies, the story, of course, of evolves or changes based on
True.
when someone dies. So it'd be like a selective Heavy Rain. It'd be
Yeah.
like instead of being the person trying to figure it out, you're like the mastermind who's like, okay, it's time for you to die. I couldn't do it. There's look, Heavy Rain messed me up, man. But to play through a game that's long and memorable, and then give me the option to play again, but this time I could keep all my characters alive, but more and more bad shit will happen as long as the further from when they're supposed to die they live. I couldn't do it.
I mean, it basically sounds like we just made Final Fantasy VII into a roguelike.
Oh God, no, no.
It's basically like literally what we just made is a Square Enix roguelike game.
Probably, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. So speaking of games here, there was a question that was asked of me, and I'm going to ask it to you, Zelius, and anyone
Oh,
else
dear.
who's in the audience. And that is, and this actually made me, I had to think about this, and this is, what is the first setting you change in any game when you first started up?
Subtitles.
Subtitles. Do you turn them on or off?
Oh, they have to be on.
Yeah, I do that. I think I do that more now than I did in the past, simply because of my job, where I'm a compliance and accessibility officer. So being able to read is good.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I subtitles in video games are a very much a need for me.
I would say, yeah, definitely subtitles. It depends on if it's on console or PC. If it's on the PC, I want to try to get it max res.
Okay.
Um,
I would say potentially with a controller is inverted control or not inverted controls.
yeah,
And I don't actually know which is which. It's just whatever works the way my brain works.
but that's the funny thing. I go through this too, where there are certain games that the invert feels perfect, but then there are
Yep.
other games where it just feels completely wrong. And I don't know why. I can't. It's not like, oh yeah, I've always got to invert the Y. Some games I do, some games I don't. It's just, but yeah, absolutely. When you have that type of three-dimensional movement, I need to potentially have to mess around with that or deal with sensitivity.
And the weird thing is, like, if you ask me today, if I press like the left joystick forward, does your character look up or down? I actually don't know the answer to that question. Like, I have to actually be like, let me go play a game and see, because it's just if it feels right.
Right.
I don't really think about it. It just works or doesn't. So I don't even know which way is correct. I just have to sit down and try it and see like what works.
Yeah. 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 Like as soon as
But
you
I
ask
agree
me
on
that
the
question,
PC.
I'm trying to think. I'm like, I don't know.
But on the PC, 100%, I definitely look at the resolution. That is a very accurate statement because most games like don't find it correctly for some reason.
They default to a standard.
Oh, you have a standard 540p monitor? Excellent, sir. Like, no,
We're gonna start the game off at 800 by 600. See how that goes.
we know it works for everyone. Lowest common denominator, sir.
We're doing it at 114p. That should look awesome.
I always turn off background music when tabbed out.
So
That's
when you
probably more
tab out,
prevalent.
there's no music.
Yeah, it's probably more prevalent in MMOs where they like their background music playing by default. So a lot of times I'll turn that off when I'm alt tabbed out.
You know,
And
the
there's
funny thing
always
is, I'm like
oh,
the exact opposite. It drives me nuts when I accidentally like click out of something and then the sound or a tab out and the sound stops. Because then I'm like, oh shit, did it crash?
you monster.
I know. It also really sucks uh, when you're trying to record gameplay
Mm.
and you
Okay,
have to change the settings. So when you click out, everything just goes dead quiet.
that's awkward. I would agree with that.
But let's see. I'm trying to think if there's any other settings. I absolutely, especially when it comes to streaming or yeah, streaming and recording, I have to mess with the volume
Mm,
because I don't want it too strong and I don't want it, too soft. Thankfully, I
I
haven't run into
rarely,
too many games where they've got like extremes. Like some scenes, it's gonna blow your eardrums, and other scenes you can't hear shit.
yeah, I rarely mess with audio. The only time I mess with the audio is to like actually turn it off and leave only sound effects on so I can play music in the background. And it's usually because the in-game audio is terrible.
Actually, speaking of audio, for any of you developers out there, if you have a master volume, that means all volumes, okay? I can't
Duh.
tell you, there's so many freaking games where the master only really takes care of the the
Background music.
background music and the dialogue if it's spoken, but like sound
Sure.
effects is still like maxed out. So I'd
That's
be like,
just
bam, 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 like, ah.
like, no, I told you, master volume, go down.
There's certain, and the funny thing is, it's not there is no universal. This is how much volume this should be. It's not like half volume is this level for all games. That's no such thing as that.
Yeah. There's no
Um,
normalization of audio.
yeah, it's like one of my games I play at 50%. There's another game that I have to play at 30% because 50% drowns me out.
Nice. It's whatever you want, sir.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of Whovian, I am wearing my Doctor Who shirt today. So
Nice. There
yeah.
you go.
Um, for those of you out there, actually, let me do the Alta Confusion spiel real quick since we did the Friends of the Show and we didn't get a chance to do the Alta Confusion stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me do this quick rundown for you. Ladies and gentlemen, every single year for the past 10 years, Alta Confusion has participated in something called Extra Life. Extra Life is gamers doing what we do best, and that is gaming, to help sick and injured children at our chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. For ours, of course, will be the Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. All the money that we raise will go directly to that hospital as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impacts in the lives of the kids they treat. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the ability to do so, go to extra-life.org and search for Alta Confusion. You could donate from there, or if you're on Twitch, you could just go into the navigation bar below this video and click there. Or you can, of course, go to www.alteredconfusion.com, and it's in one of the bars on the website. You can do that as well.
Yes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's also talk about the fact that Alta Confusion has a Patreon. Alta Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you. So we have what's called a Patreon page. Patreon allows you, the fans, supporters, become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This membership allows you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. By doing this, you allow us to gain a little bit more stability to build a stronger creative career. So currently, for Patreon, we have two different tiers. One's a $1 a month tier, and the other one is a $5 a month tier. So the $1 a month, or $12 a year, allows you early access to the playthroughs that I post, and also allows you to partake in polls that are given to supporters of the show. If you do the $5 option, which is $60 a year, you gain your name or organization in the thank you section of every single Thursday Night Hangout. You, of course, gain the early access to all the playthroughs, and, of course, once again, you get to partake in polls to help shape Alta Confusion. Now, the playthroughs. I just finished Tales from the Borderlands. An awesome game, by the way. Awesome game. And I have to, and it is slowly being updated onto YouTube. But it's slowly being released on YouTube. Of course, if you're a patron, you gain early access to that. So I think if you're a patron, you have the first 3 of 5 chapters available for you to watch today.
Nice.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that there are a lot of people out there who want to help out Ultra Confusion, maybe in a financial way, but you don't want to do a monthly subscription. You do have the option to do a one-time payment. It is through PayPal. All you got to do is go to either, if you're on twitch.tv/ultraconfusion, there, once again, it's in that box below the video, or once again, you can go to www.ultraconfusion.com. It's a donate now button. You click there, and it's a one-time donation to Ultra Confusion. All the money that's raised by Ultra Confusion goes into the Ultra Confusion account, which is then used to help purchase new equipment, cover convention fees, and of course, allow us to create new stuff for you or update software.
So many things. We just want you in our hearts.
Exactly. Now, ladies and gentlemen, of course, if you are in the mind to actually send something physical to Ultra Confusion, say a Funko Pop or a T-shirt or a mug or something like that, you can send or mail us, I should say, at 1551 Dunwoody, that's Dunwoody, Village Parkway. Number, this is super duper important, you have to have this number part, number 88276. That is the P.O. Box number. If you do not have that number, it will not get to us. Once again, the city is called Dunwoody, Dunwoody, Georgia 30338.
I always get confused. Just how important is the P.O. box, sir?
Super duper 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 important.
Okay, then.
Super important. So, yes, if you want to, by all means, I am regularly checking the P.O. box now, so we can avoid the fiasco that occurred in the past. Speaking of which,
No
I still need
fiascos
to.
for us.
I still need to do an unboxing of this. Hold on.
You actually have a box to unbox? I'm so excited. I can't hide it.
Da da da.
Ooh. Oh, well, we know what it is.
Yes, but
Didn't
what
it come like inside of a box to hide it?
What Funkos are actually in there? That's the question.
Wait, why aren't you unboxing it?
Do you want me to unbox it right now?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, an impromptu unboxing on Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangouts.
Do you ever plan the unboxing? It seems like it's always just let's do it.
I used to, for like the indie box, I used to do an actual video for it.
Ah, yes.
But once they kind of folded up, I didn't do many unboxing videos.
Far away.
Well, there's 6 of them. And I apparently opened the box upside down. So let's try this again. No, I just looked at them, and it's all the bottom of the Funko Pop boxes. So I don't know exactly. It's it's basically the. Here, I'll show you. It's basically the whites of the bottom of the boxes.
Yes.
Which is not very helpful when you're.
It makes the suspense that much more real, sir.
Exactly. It's a box inside a box. All right.
But you got to take the Funko Pop outside the box.
Of course. Oh, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I know what this is now. This, my friends, is the Luchador collection from Marvel.
Oh gosh, nice.
So we have, let's see what we got here. We have, trying to be nice with these things. We have El Arachno, i.e. The Spider-Man. We have El Furioso.
Oh.
That would be the Hulk. Let's see what else we got here. We got El Chimichanga della Morte. Anyone want to take a guess which one this is?
That's awesome.
That'd be Deadpool. Let's try this one. How about El Animal Indestructible?
Ooh.
Also known as Wolverine.
Roar, my adamantium is indestructible, sir.
How about El Hero Invicto, also known as the Iron Man? And finally,
he looks fake.
El Venenoid, or Venom.
That's original.
Yep. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want me to open up your box on any of our Thursday Night Hangouts or do an unboxing video, just once again, send it to that address that I gave you, and we'll showcase it on the show.
Nice.
All right. For some crazy-ass reason, Zelius, we've actually covered all of the topics for this week. Actually, we haven't, but I didn't want to. Let's just go real quick. The Bethesda merger with Microsoft has been finalized. Microsoft has already come out and said that they're going to have exclusive content just for the Xbox and the PC, but of course, no exact announcements have been made.
I mean, that's not surprising, honestly.
No.
I mean, big part of the reason PlayStation kicked Xbox's reason is the exclusives on the PlayStation.
Yep.
And you buy Bethesda for billions of dollars.
Yep.
I mean, Microsoft's best interest is to probably make them exclusives to try to incentivize people to purchase the Xbox.
Agreed.
So on one hand, it's like, stupid exclusives. On the other hand, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Well, especially it's like, because you still have the PC option. It's not like it's just exclusive to the console. So here's a crazy factoid about PCs.
Mm-hmm.
Now is like the worst time probably in the history to build a brand new gaming PC because of graphics cards. My graphics card that I got in 2017 for I think about $250. It went on sale today and people were excited for like $300.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So a couple of weeks ago, I started just for the hell of it, be like, I'm going to mine Ethereum with my graphics card just because why not?
Yep.
But after seeing the prices, I'm like, actually, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that because like if the mining kills my graphics card, I'm screwed.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what? I make money off of it, but it's just not even worth the headache if I were to like fry it or something or overwork it or whatever. So no, it's like right now the market, and the sad thing is it's not going to probably recover for a year or two. Like it's not like there's an immediate turnaround on the horizon. Like this is a long-term situation for graphics cards.
Yep.
Why? I mean, which means it's also probably, if you're going to do PC versus console gaming, for at least if you care about the pixels, we'll put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Now is actually a good time to be a console because part of what you're getting with that price is that graphics cards, which are really hard to come by for a reasonable price.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
but it's a trade-off. Then you got to get the proprietary hard drive.
Amen to that, brother. Yeah. So Xbox already has theirs, and supposedly this summer, Sony's releasing their, or not releasing, but adding the firmware update to allow the
external drive,
super fast, crazy drives.
Yep.
Now you can already hook up basically any USB drive for PS4 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you want that super sweet sauce for PS5 games, that's where you got to get the new drive.
The sweet sauce. Sweet sauce. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of our show. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. But, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take this time to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zelius, it's been a pleasure to give you everything from our heads, our mouths, and, of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on gaming in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. And we're out.
Hello, boys and girls. It's the Thursday Night Hangout. Hey, woo!
And I apologize for anyone who's actually who tuned in. For some reason, my network connection like bottomed out a couple times for the streaming purposes. Now, I never lost Zelius except for that first part where he actually restarted his computer.
Weird. Yeah.
But I noticed that on Facebook and Twitch, or I could just tell you that the streaming rate went down to 0 a couple times. So there's 0 kilobytes per second happening. But I'm not exactly sure why. So I apologize.
Um,
Yes, Elias.
I lost my brain.
Just now? Right now? That's impressive. I lost mine like 98? 96? 97.
I had something deep, and then it was like, no, thou shall not talk.
Yeah, well, I apologize. I did not post my brain doodle of the month or the week. So here's my brain doodle for anyone out there who's looking for one. Bam.
Run!
And just for those kids who are counting at home, that would be brain doodle number 209.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. And yes, I will eventually find some way to put a price on them and sell them, because I do have 209 of them now, and they're all unique. They're not this. They're none of them are going to look the same, and they've got my blood, sweat, and tears, and ideas, and frustrations, and thoughts, and dreams.
It shall be glorious, sir.
It's beautiful, and sometimes maybe not so beautiful, but it's still there. Seriously, Tales for the Borderland, phenomenal game. Holy shit.
Nice.
I loved every minute. It's literally after playing that, I'm like, fuck, I've got to play Borderlands 3. I have to.
It's on sale for like $10 today.
I know, Zelius.
It's actually I was gonna pick that up. I actually forgot. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, no, it's back up to 60.
Seriously?
Yep.
Well, it'll go on sale again sometime. So what?
Unless, of course, you would have. No. Oh, God. Oh. I might have to. Well, no. So I remember I tried to. Whoops. Someone left me a comment. Yet no. That scares the crap out of me.
Where?
Stop sending. It's like, dude, can you add me? I have something to tell you in private about your Steam profile. No. No.
That's not sketchy at all.
Okay, so I tried to get a refund on a game that I thought was absolute garbage trash, but unfortunately, I must have at some point left the game on, and so the in-game counter kept going, and so they refused my refund because it appears as if I played. Let's see if I can find the damn game now. Where the hell is that game? What was it called? It's called like Greedfall. There we go. Oh, they corrected it, but they still won't get. At one point, it said that I'd played 38 hours of Greedfall. I'm like, no, I haven't. Now they've changed it back to 5, but they still are refusing to allow me to get a refund. So I've got Greedfall just sitting on my computer. I'm like, look, seriously, just look at the number of achievements I've gotten. It's 6 out of 63. I haven't played a lot of the game because it pisses the hell out of me. Oh. Anywho. Check out Legends of Runeterra. Damn it, Zelius. Runes of Runeterra. Damn it. No. Brain fart.
Yeah, I've played it before. You know that.
I know. But you're the one who kept like confusing me the first. It's like, it's the Runes of Legend. I mean, like, ugh.
This is true. I got you hooked. It's my fault.
No. Just mispronouncing the name of the game. I mean, yeah, you got me hooked to play the game, but it's Legend of Runeterra. I can't tell you how many times Zelius like, Runes of Legend. I mean, the Runes of Tintera. I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah,
Um,
I need to decide what game I'm going to be doing a playthrough of now because I'm
Ooh.
done with Tales from the Borderlands.
nice.
I might try out a new indie game called Encodia, which is something we actually that I actually posted about a while ago on Alter Confusion. It looks pretty solid.
Does sound very nice. Very nice.
It is very nice, very, very, very nice. But all right, kids, I've got to go take care of some stuff. Zelius, I'm sure his overlord is probably staring at him and informing him that he will die in the next 3 minutes.
She's sitting up there jumping, waiting. Wait. A little more.
A little more. Oh God! Ah!
Um, tomorrow night.
Yes, and more. Hold on one second. Let me